Arka laughs. Eluna, did you hear? He asked me if the Magium is a person. I heard him, Eluna says in a dry tone as Arka continues to laugh in the background. Of course you wouldn't answer my question, I say, as I look towards Arka's amulet. Never mind the Magium then. What can you tell me about the other's rituals? Which ones are you talking about? Arka says. The ones that already passed or the ones that are still inside the trance? The ones that are still inside the ritual. What are the rest of them doing? Both, I guess. Well, Arka says, I didn't get to see Melindra's ritual. Who's Melindra? Oh, the fucking Stillwater. But Eluna was forced to reenact the whole Sacred Woods massacre down to its very last detail. Her ritual wasn't nearly as funny as yours because she realized from the start what she needed to do, but I could still tell that she was pretty pissed off about it. Even if she didn't really show it, Flower on the other hand just kept trying to save her friends from the destruction of Omnar over and over, even after failing dozens of times in a row. In the end, it was Eluna who convinced her to finally let go of them after she got out of her own ritual and saw what the foolish girl was doing. What are the ones that are still inside their ritual? I say. Arka says, I think it would be quicker to show you directly. Let's start with the healer. In an instant, the scenery around me changes completely, and everyone except for Flower and me disappears from before my eyes, as I can now find myself standing in front of Rose's house in the city of Thelius. When I take a better look at the two of us, I notice that Flower and I have both become semi-transparent. The same goes for Araka's amulet. On the other hand, I'm also seeing another Flower, another instance of me who is not transparent at all, and who are currently busy talking to Rose and her siblings. The same yard where we were located, Hardrick, Kate and Darren are also there apparently, but they are not saying anything. Right, this is after we saved the slave or something. First, let me give you a bit of context, Arka says. What is happening? I say, how did you bring us here? Shh, Arka tells me. Rose, I hear Darren saying, could you show me to my room? All I want right now is to lie down in bed for a while. Oh, what the hell happened in his room? Certainly, Rose says, follow me, I'll show you the way. Okay, now the healer is heading towards his room and he's going to stay there for a while, Arka says. Remember this part? Yes, I say, this happened right after we reached Rose's house for the first time. Why are you showing me this? Does this have anything to do with Darren's ritual? I told you, Arka says, I'm trying to give you some context. It wouldn't be any fun otherwise. Alright, next up, we'll fast forward to Darren's room. Once again, the whole scenery around us changes in an instant. We both find ourselves inside Darren's room from Rose's mansion. While Darren is currently sitting on the bed with his torso leaning forward and his elbows propped on his knees while he's holding his head with both his hands. Just like before, he seems to be completely unaware of our presence. He can't see or hear us, by the way, Arka says, as we are still in our semi-transparent form. Just thought I'd make it clear in case you didn't figure it out by now. She's dead. Hear Darren's voice reverberating from the walls. Even though Darren's mouth is still closed, she was killed right in front of my eyes, and I was powerless to stop it from all happening. Wait. Oh, I know what's happening. I just realized what's happening. I think this is my playthrough. Book 2, my playthrough. This is not the ideal playthrough. I have a separate file saved for the ideal playthrough, and I will be playing that for book 2. But since this is my playthrough and I did not save her, so this is what's happening. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. She's dead. I hear Darren's voice reverberating from the walls, even though Darren's mouth is still closed. She was killed right in front of my eyes, and I was powerless to stop it all from happening. What was that? I ask Araka as I look all around to try and find the source of sound. Were those Darren's thoughts? Of course they were his thoughts, Araka says. What else could they have been? You have the ability to read people's mind? I say, starting to panic a little. No, you idiot, Araka says. How many times do I need to tell you that your friends are connected to the Magium? Right now, reading the thoughts while they're in this state is easy if you have some decent knowledge of how auras work. Now shut up and pay attention. I didn't bring you here for nothing. No, I hear Darren's voice echoing through the room again. It's not that I was powerless. I would have gotten the power if I wanted, but I didn't ask for it. I was too proud. I was too arrogant. I thought that I could find a way to save her against all odds, like I always do. I couldn't accept the idea I could fail to such an extent. Even when the noble pulled out the knife, I still refused to see the truth before my eyes. Let the poor innocent girl die because I couldn't bring myself to beg Aiden for help. Even if he is evil, his motives were clear. All that he was asking in return for the power was for me to admit my weakness in front of him. Nothing more. I couldn't even do such a simple thing. Not only that, but I also killed the noble, endangered all of us just for the sake of pointless revenge. Why couldn't I have killed that noble before he murdered the girl in cold blood? What use are all these years of training and traveling throughout the world if I can't even save one helpless girl that is standing right in front of me? Perfect, Alex says. I think this should be enough context for an intents and purposes. Let's move on to the trial ritual. Again, the environment around us changes completely, but this time we find ourselves on the street of Thelius, right as the noble was threatening to save. Oh, so he's probably going through the ritual of asking Aiden for power or whatever. Right as the noble was threatening the slave girl, Flower and I are still transparent. She's not saying much, Flower, but the non-transparent version of me is standing about a dozen feet away from our current position. So are Darren, Kate, Rose, and Aiden. Okay, Arka tells me this is where Darren's ritual actually started. What I've been showing you so far were just fragments of his memory, so you could better understand his motivations. Is everything clear so far? I guess so, I said. Good. Arka says, now let's watch the show. What happened? I hear Darren's thoughts echoing throughout the area as he looks around him confused. Is this a ritual that Arka was talking about? Did I get sent to the past? How interesting, Aiden says all of a sudden. The flow of the healer's aura has completely changed in a matter of seconds. It's as if he's now a different person from the one he was a few moments ago. What could trigger such a change, I wonder? Memory loss? No. This is something else. Time travel, perhaps. A trial from the god of time? I don't know what you're talking about, Darren says, trying to feign ignorance. Who is the god of time you speak? I've never heard of him. So you did receive a trial, then Aiden says with a grin as he sees right through Darren's bluff. What could be the purpose of the ritual? Is it to save the slave girl? Either way, I must make sure not to interfere. I would not want to fail your trial on my account. I wouldn't want you to fail your trial on my account. Of course, even in this fucking illusion land, Aiden was the one who could immediately tell something was fucky. I don't even know how this works then. Like, is it like actual, are they actually time traveling, or is this like is this happening in their head? Is this an illusion? Man, this is fucking confusing, honestly. Very cool though, but very confusing. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we already read that. What do you mean you won't interfere? Darren says with an anxious tone in his voice. You know exactly what I mean, healer, Aiden says with a wicked smile. I'm talking about the offer that I surely must have made to you the last time you experienced these events, and what I'm saying to you is that the offer is no longer valid, so what are you going to do? This bastard, I hear Darren's thinking. I should have known he couldn't be trusted, but if he's not going to offer me the power anymore, then that means... Suddenly we hear the slave girl screaming in fear as the Earl of Ollander is now holding a knife in his hand, and while approaching her slowly. Please, I beg you, the slave girl says as she is desperately trying to lift all of the luggage that she is supposed to carry in her hands. Give me one more chance. I can still carry those bags for you. I don't want to die. Then you should have thought of that before wasting my time, wench, the noble says. Now stand still. I will make your death as swift as possible. While thinking, Darren rushes to the slave girl's aid. He tries to pull her away from the Earl. Come with me, girl, Darren says as he tries to pull her by the arm. I'm taking you away from this monster. No, the slave girl shouts. She panics and jumps back from Darren. I can't run away from him. I'm his property. She then turns back to face the Earl of Ollander. Sir, please, I promise you that the girl does not get to finish her sentence, because the noble immediately slits her throat open with a single swing slash of his dagger. No, Darren shouts in desperation as he immediately grabs the slave girl in his arm and attempts to cast a healing spell on her. Unfortunately, by the time his spell begins to take effect, the girl has... How did it happen even that fast? That makes no sense. I mean, he cut her throat and she immediately just fucking bursted out of blood, fucking almost immediately died. I mean, he has used the healing spell before. It takes a while, you know, one time Barry had his legs broken when he took a fall because Aiden threw him from a height. I mean, he probably was internal hemorrhaging, right? So it's not like he just fucking just lost all his blood in an instant and then didn't get the time to fucking... How big of a cut was it? Did he just chop her fucking head off or something? What the hell is happening? Unfortunately, by the time his spell began to take effect, the girl had lost way too much blood and she was slowly dying in his arm while he was still trying to heal her. I'm sorry, I did the piff without thinking that I would blow it into the mic. The noble says as he looks at Darren in disgust, how pathetic. Oh, don't die again, I beg you, Darren shouts, completely ignoring the Earl as he's still trying to heal the dead girl that he's holding in his arms. That wasn't supposed to happen. I was going to save you this time. I was going to make things right. Please, if anyone listening, give me another chance. I promise I won't fail her again next time, please. He then starts to sob quietly as he continues to hold the slave girl's corpse tightly in his arms. After a few seconds of silence, except for Darren's slow sobs, a white light suddenly envelops the area. Then a few moments later, we find ourselves in the same area again. with the slave girl still alive, with Darren back where he was when he was first sent back in time. Attica laughs. Did you see that? Did you see how well timed that was? Even if it was all stage, it couldn't have turned out as good as it is. Just what it is. Exactly what are you finding so funny? Is this seriously what passes off as entertainment to you? Really are starting to get my nerves, you know. Which one? Oh boy. Guess what it is? What are you finding so funny? I know she finds this funny. Is this seriously what passes off as entertainment to you? Really starting to get on my nerves. I think I'm gonna go with this. Is this seriously what passes off as entertainment to you? Entertainment, Attica says, this isn't just entertainment for me, Berry Boy. It's what I live for. Well, you really went off the deep end a long time ago, didn't you? I tell Attica. But either that, or I'm in fact the only sane person in the world. You all are a bunch of nut jobs, Attica says. The world may never know. But Attica and I were talking. Aiden was just discovering for a second time that Darren has been sent to the past by the god of time. He was now getting ready to mock him once again. I must make sure to not interfere, I hear Aiden say. I would not want you to fail your trial on my accord. On my account, not accord.